Hello once again, Kinders. It's Mr. Column, and I am here with Mr. V. We are going to read his story today about his vanishing vests. What does Mr. V wear? What makes him special? You remember? Right. He wears a violet velvet vest. And what does violet, velvet, and vest all begin with? What is the sound that begins violet, velvet, vest? You think they know? Yep. Violet, velvet, vest. Very good, Mr. V. I'm glad that you trust that they already know this. Excellent. Okay, well, today we have Mr. V's story about his vanishing vests, and I want you to notice a couple of things with the story as we read it. I want you to listen for characters, which is the people that are in it. I want you to look for the setting, which means where does it happen? What is the plot? What happens? What is the special event? And what is the conclusion? How does it end? How does the story end? So let's find out what those vanishing vests do, and also think about, should the vests vanish? What is the problem? What is the big thing that they do wrong that worries everybody? Okay, so I'm going to take my camera here and flip it around to Mr. V. He's very excited to show you his whole outfit. He looks very good today, right? Very handsome. Okay, and we are going to read his story, Vanishing Vests. There's that title again. We know that this is the title of the book because it's the biggest text or print on the page. The small text, that's going to be the authors, Elaine Rice and Rita Friedman. I'm going to look at the cover of the book. I can tell that there's going to be a couple of characters. Mr. V, who can, well, we know that these must be vests. What does he look like? Can we make a prediction about who he might be? Maybe like a store manager. He's all dressed up. How about these guys back here? Who might they be? I don't know, I'm looking at the clothing. I'm looking at their hats and their coats. Looks to me like maybe they're well, not police officers, but maybe like detectives. Okay. So there's the front cover. Gives me some picture clues. What is this part of the book called right here? Right, this is the spine of the book. Okay, here's the back. Oh, look, there's some more characters. I see people doing something. Looks like there's maybe some police officers. There's a man in a suit. I'm not sure what he would be, but if I open the book, I bet we can get some answers to our predictions about who some of these characters might be. All right, so Vanishing Vests is the title of our book. We're going to open it up. What do we call it when the person who wrote the book writes their name in it or leaves you a message? Right? That's an autograph, right? This is Elaine, who was the author of the book, one of the authors of the book, I should say. She signed her name, so that's an autograph. I'm going to open it up to, I'm getting a little ahead of myself there. There is our title page. And why are we calling it the title page? Because it has the what? Vanishing Vests. It's the same that we see on the front cover. The title, Vanishing Vests, Vanishing Vests. All right, so we're going to go over here. Mr. V, ready to tell your story? Okay, let's find out what those Vanishing Vests did. I'm going to turn on my record player here. Once again, if you haven't seen the other stories, a record was how, when I was a little boy, we listened to stories and music. Okay. Oh, and another thing, we call this a record, but we also call it a vinyl. What does vinyl begin with? Excellent. Mr. V's velvet vest sound. Vinyl. Here we go.
Calling all vanishing vests. Vanishing vests. That's what this story's about. Vanishing vests. Oh, you don't know what vanishing means? It means to disappear, go away, get lost. So, let's vanish into the story. Valentine's Vest Story. Mr. Valentine sold vests of all kinds. There was always a vest standing in his window. Until... One morning, Mr. Valentine wanted to get a vest from the window. The vest was gone. There was no vest in view. The vest had vanished. Mr. Valentine called the Virginia vest store.
Have you seen my vest?
He asked.
Your vest?
Cried the storekeeper.
I am looking for my own vests. All my vests have vanished.
Mr. Valentine called vest store after vest store. Vests had vanished from every store. What was happening? Where were all the vanishing vests? The storekeepers went to the police station.
Vests are vanishing.
They reported,
Vanishing vests. Very interesting.
said the police captain.
I will call the Vest Patrol. They will find the vanishing vests.
The vest patrol got into their cars. They drove up and down every street. They called each other on their radios.
On car 1, any vanishing vests on your street? On car 2, 3, and 4, are any vanishing vests to be seen?
No one could find even one vanishing vest. Then, suddenly, there they were. All the vests were walking happily along. Car 5 stopped beside the vests. The vests turned around.
Good day, officers.
They smiled.
Isn't this a lovely morning?
It has not been a lovely morning.
Shouted the patrolman.
Everyone is looking for you. Don't say a word.
Snapped the patrolman.
Just climb into the van.
Vroom! Vroom! The van raced to the police station. The vests stepped off the van. They were very worried. They did not know why everyone was angry. It was the day every vest in the whole world had been waiting for. The captain said,
Vests, stop your crying. Vests must not vanish. Where were you going?
Don't you remember?
asked the polka dot vest.
It's really simple.
Said the striped vest.
I don't understand.
Said the captain.
But today is the day.
Said all the vests in a loud voice.
What day?
Shouted the captain. The polka dot vest dried his tears.
Today, Mr. V visits us. He will wear his violet velvet vest.
Mr. V? Violet? Velvet? Vest? What are you talking about?
All the vests answered together.
Today is the day we may touch Mr. V's vest. It is velvet. It is soft. It is violet. It is bright. Now Mr. V will not be able to find us.
The police captain listened. Tears were rolling down his cheeks.
I'm sorry. I did not know.
He cried. The vest patrol had tears in their eyes.
We are sorry. We did not know,
they said. Then the captain had an idea.
Get into your patrol cars.
He said,
Ride on every street. Find Mr. V. Bring him in.
all the patrol cars raced away. They looked for Mr. V. They looked for a violet velvet vest. The vest waited for hours and hours. The clock ticked and talked. Then, suddenly, there he was. Mr. V and his violet velvet vest.
Isn't he red?
The vests. Mr. V smiled as he walked to the vests. They each touched his violet velvet vest. How proud they were. The police captain was happy. The vest patrol was happy. They all cried for joy. Mr. V saw them crying and said,
You may touch my vest too. First you must dry your tears. Tears can spoil my violet velvet vest.
Mr. V could not stay too long. He was only visiting. He had to visit other vests. It was time for him to leave. Mr. V waved goodbye. Goodbye. Then Mr. V vanished. It was the end of the day. The vests were very tired. They wanted to go home. Mr. Valentine and the other storekeepers welcomed their vanishing vests. They were very happy. The vests were very happy too. All was peaceful in a quiet mood. The vests were all back in their windows. They wondered when Mr. V in his violet velvet vest would visit again.
All right, so let's talk about the characters in the book. It was Mr. V, and who else? Right, the Vest Patrol. Who's he? Mr. Valentine and the Vests. Very good. All right, and one more thing before we go. Mr. V wanted to make sure that he talked to you real quick about the important thing about vanishing. That means to disappear without telling anybody where you're going. Should you ever vanish, should you ever go somewhere that isn't inside your home where but nobody knows where you've gone, your parents, older brother or sister, grandma, grandpa, somebody who's in charge of being in charge of you, right? So in order to be safe, we always want to make sure that a grown-up knows where we are. Right? That makes Mr. V very happy when we're safe that way. All right, kindergarten. Real quick, I should have asked you the plot. So the plot was about what? Okay, right, about the vanishing vests and finding Mr. V. Where did it take place? What was the setting? Okay, in Valley View. Okay, and in some of the vest stores. And I think we're good. All right. So I will see you guys again in another video. I hope you guys are working hard, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.